Thando, and welcome to the video log of my first month-ish of being underemployed. So my first week started off great. I had work, so I went and did that. But the rest of the month wasn't as busy. So I had to start my routine to figure out how I want my days to be and how I want them to look like and the routine that I would like when I'm not booked and busy. I think this month, the first thing that I had to get accustomed to that I just didn't even think was a thing that I had to think about because I felt like it was a no-brainer was that the working hours are warped. When you have a 9 to 5, you have to show up at the employer from 9 to 5, from early in the morning all the way to early evening or a little bit after, whether you like it or not. That's the structure. So obviously, a lot of the work as a freelancer is going to equally be as on the computer as much as it is going to be on location, actually shooting, doing the physical work that's going to bring the ching-ching. You're on your computer looking for work, checking emails, invoicing, sending quotations, doing your tax returns because it's tax return season right now. There was a lovely person who sent me such a nice detailed breakdown of the things that I'm going to have to do as a freelancer moving forward. It was so beautiful. So thank you so much. It was really, really helpful. I really appreciated it. This is on the video that I posted the last time about losing my job. And when you look at that comment section, you can see just how much goes into adminning, particularly if you're doing it by myself. She suggested that I get an accountant. I can't afford one right now, so I'm going to have to just learn how to do things myself. It's an arduous task, but for now I'm going to have to just suck it up and do it myself until I can be financially steady enough to bring somebody on board to do it for me. But it's a lot. So a particularly interesting thing that I've noticed this month is that I have had to obliterate the 9 to 5 working structure. Not only that, but also the 9 to 5 working from the office culture structure vibe. The nature of my work is a lot of hurry up and wait and interval working. Oftentimes I get to the office, I don't know what story I'm working on. So I have to find out what the story is. The reporter is still chasing interviews, like trying to secure some interviews and lock them down. And that usually takes a while, sometimes all the way to 1 o'clock, sometimes to 3, oftentimes more to 12 o'clock. So the time I get to work from 9 until 12 or until 1, I don't have tangible work. I can't start doing my work for that day, for that specific day, until the reporter is done with her bit, right? I can do some admin, some media management, but if I'm doing that every single day, there's gonna come a time where I have no media management to do and I can't really move. Like I can't do too much because an interview can come in the next 10 minutes or in the next hour or 3 hours or 4 hours. So I have to be like basically on standby. And a lot of that standby is spent just antsy waiting for word and not doing much work. But that posture of waiting, being on standby is work because it's also very like constantly at the front of your mind or at the back of your mind, whichever one. So if we don't have a story that starts early in the morning, usually the beginning of the day is very slow and lots of waiting. So what do you spend that time doing? You spend a lot of that time sometimes just on TikTok, on YouTube, because the truth is you can't actually physically remove yourself from the office environment to go do other things because at any given moment, we could get a go ahead to go get an interview, to go cover a breaking story, to, you know what I mean? So that means all of this time is spent at the office. Whether I'm going to get coffee, coming back on my phone, on the computer, working on my own personal things or whatever it is, I still have to be at the office, right? And that creates an illusion of productivity. So there's really a lot of hours that I spend just waiting for 4 or 3 other people to finish their portion of the job so I can start with my portion of the job, right? And it varies. Sometimes it's really quick, sometimes it takes way longer. But yeah, I still have to be at the office. So the thing that I didn't realize I'd have to contend with as a freelancer was that these hours I speak of that are I'm technically free because I'm waiting for other people to do their job so I can do my job. As a freelancer, those hours I spent not pretending to be busy, but rather actually resting. That could be taking proper breaks, going for a walk, checking on my plans. I cannot believe this girl gets this much light in the morning and she acts like she don't be getting light. But this one is my pride and joy. Having a cup of coffee or a savannah or going to sleep. Literally, just going to sleep. Scrolling on my phone intentionally, right? Giving myself time. I'm going to be on my phone for the next 2 hours or an hour without making myself feel guilty for it. And only when I feel my alpha brainwave do I get up and crush all the work that I need to do. That's another thing. The days, because it ebbs and flows, sometimes the day's work will take the whole day, especially if I have to go and shoot somewhere. Okay, that's a different day. But if I'm working from just computer stuff, admin stuff, some of the stuff will take a day. Maybe you have to go certify some documents. Maybe you're spending the whole day trying to get a tax clearance certificate from SARS. And for that reason, then just the hours keep going and you don't notice. But some days you crush everything on your to-do list in 4 hours. And that means the rest of the day, you can start working ahead if you do have a ton of work for the next day, or you can take a break. No one is on your toes. No one's looking over your shoulder. No one is checking what you're doing constantly. And I've really, really thoroughly appreciated that. Another thing is that I don't have to wake up at a specific time. I remember, I think 2 weeks back, I woke up at like 1600. It is 1640 and I'm just getting out of bed. I woke up and I got myself some food at around like 2, and then I went to bed again to work until like 2200. And that was my working day. And sometimes I'll wake up at like 6 a.m. because just my body decided that day to wake up at 6 a.m. I'll grab some coffee, maybe check a few emails, and go back to sleep until maybe 12 o'clock. If I feel like, oh, okay, cool, now we can kick it, take a shower, do whatever I want to do at a leisurely pace, and then start getting into work. So if I don't have anything that's pressing or that's time sensitive, like maybe I've got an interview scheduled for today, so I have to get up, prepare for that, mentally, emotionally, and all the things that you have to prepare yourself for, then yeah, I'll just really depend on my alpha brainwaves to kick in, and then I know when my alpha brainwaves are switched on, I'm going hard. It's not hard to go hard. I'm switched on, and I will be getting everything on my to-do list done. Lastly, my first month of freelancing made me realize that just because there's this big change in your life doesn't mean that life stops. The thing about life is that it will go on with or without you, and it doesn't mean that you stop showing up for your loved ones. My really close fiance, my really close friend Hlophe, she lost her mom, and so we had to galvanize obviously and go lay her to rest in PE, so went and did that.
Please.
When's his doula?
Wait. 3, 2, 1, go.
Can you just?
Yeah, I'm at that age, CC, where I think this is the 4th friend, really close friend, losing their parent in the last 4 years. So every year, someone is losing their parent, which means I have to gear up. So for certain things, I have to have my things in order in case something of that nature happens. It sucks to talk about. We have to though, because it's the truth, right? It is what it is. We don't want it to happen, but it also could be me, right? If Vivi taught us anything, was that death is right here. It's nearby, and it can happen at any point, for any reason these days. Really, sometimes you're like, and it's just you know what I mean? So yeah, we have to be kind of prepared for those kind of things to unfold in our lives. I don't know if this one is specific to me. I suppose it is because I spoke about this publicly, but I received a lot of people who were sending me posts, who were mentioning me in conversations and chats they're having with their friends, because now they know that I'm in the job market. And it's freaking amazing, man. Thank you so much to everybody that's done that. Or in the comment section, people just, actually being frank and honest and detailed in the things that I should look out for and the things that I should do or maybe and not do. So I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much for that. I don't know if this is a thing that you should expect, but if you are vocal and if you're open about your joblessness, then I think that's a thing you should be able to expect as well from people. People are kind, man. I think if you open up and you're vulnerable and you talk to people and and you ask for help, I think you'd find people are very receptive and willing, really willing and able to help. So that's a thing you can expect if you're vocal, obviously. Yeah, and I think that's about it from this vlog. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.